Though history may not be kind, let truth be your lasting guide. Change comes when you believe. Give greatness all you can give. Remember the courage of those who are gone. Their legacy runs through your veins. Out of the shadows a new dawn has come. The strength of our spirit remains. This is the story. This is the story. The story of who we are. This is the story. This is the story. The story of who we are. Who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. Who you are. King of kings. Our enemies will try to make you forget who you are.
Die beiden sind beste Freunde. Genauso wie du und Rudolf in diesem Alter waren.
Guten Tag, Kaiserin.
Ein perfekter schwarzer deutscher Prinz. Würde das dir gefallen?
Yes, sir. I serve at the pleasure of the Kaiser.
Know that everything I did so that our people would be free.
What's the matter, Rudolf?
The Kaiser's like family. But raised as brothers to go against him.
Wilhelm is not your family. Your skin will always be the color of the rich Cameroonian soil. And they will always walk over it as if they own it.
Your family would rule under German protection. So why did you turn against us?
Your father's new ideas of independence are a cancer. I fear have infected you too.
Aber mit der Hinrichtung eines Jungen startest du einen Krieg.
Wir sind schon im Krieg.
They're inside the palace.
Kein Krieg. Lass mich sofort frei.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the German King livestream. My name is Ade Tokuma McCormack. I'm the creator of the German King series. Thank you so much to everybody who has just been supporting our campaign so far and has expressed interest. This has been an incredible week. We've had so many people just express interest in the show and just people who want to see this series happen. And if you want to express interest, you can go to angel.com/German King. I think the link is right below. It's angel.com/German King. And feel free to go over there and just, like, subscribe, share the link with your friends, share the link with the friends that you don't have. Anybody, just keep sharing and let's get this series made. I think over almost 1,000 people expressed interest. I think over 800. Let's see. A lot of people expressed interest in the show so far. Yeah, 962 people have expressed interest in the show. Thank you all so much. And in the amount of $830,000. You all, I'm so thankful. And honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means the world that so many people are just so interested in Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell's story, and so many people just want to have his story told. We have a very, very special guest joining us today for this live stream, Kobe Blaise, who is from 90 Day Fiance. So you do not want to go anywhere. He's an incredible person, has some really personal connections to Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell, and I can't wait for him to share that with you. Once again, if you want to express interest in the show, just go to angel.com/German King. And if you have any questions, either for me or for Kobe Blaise, or just questions about the German King series, just go to angel.com/German King and put your comments in the comment section. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And let's get the show on the road. So, Kobe, are you there? Okay. But yes, Kobe's going to join us in a little bit. But yes, just once again, if you want to just express interest in the show, go to angel.com/German King. And Kobe's here. There he is. There's Kobe, my man. How are you, Kobe?
Sorry. Yeah.
There you are. Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me now?
How are you? Yes, we can hear you. Thank you so much for joining us on this live stream, Kobe.
Oh, you're welcome, man. It's my pleasure, for real.
So now, Kobe, really quickly, you're on a show called 90 Day Fiance, and first of all,
Yeah.
I love you on that, and I love the fact that when you first came to this country, it reminded me of what Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell must have felt when he came to when he came to Germany for the very first time. Just basically fish out of water, just a whole new experience. And I just want to know, what was that like for you when you first came to the United States? I mean, that must have been a completely new and original experience for you.
Um, I mean, we all in the United States that it's a powerful country. Some people be like it's the most beautiful place, but your first time in every environment is really strange and it's really tough. So I mean, it was tough in getting to adapt with my wife's family and all those stuff like that. I mean, there was a lot of challenges, but still, I'm just so happy that we overcome this, and I can relate as well as Douala Manga Bell, his first time in Germany. Like he did, I think he had his uncle. He had an uncle over there who was the one that pushed him into studying abroad and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, but this still your family behind, going to a place where you know nobody. You know what I mean? It's really challenging. So I can really imagine what he went through.
That's amazing. Was there, I mean, thankfully you have this amazing wife and you've got two amazing, amazing children. And
Oh,
what has it
thank you
been
so
like,
much.
sort of, yeah, no, they're absolutely adorable. For those of you who don't know, Kobe has an amazing, two gorgeous kids, and he's an amazing father. And I noticed on your Instagram, you're always sharing these inspiring and uplifting quotes. Tell me more about that. And where does that come from? Is that something that you want to, sort of impart on your children as they get older? What's behind those inspiring quotes?
Um, anyway, it all started as, I don't know how I can say this, but growing up, I've always had like the ability to talk to people, irrespective of the age grade. Sometimes as a kid, you can't really talk that much to an older person. Me, I always give advices, no matter who you are, and not like I really want to do that, but situations arise, and then I discover that I'm talking as if I'm an elder, I'm a preacher and stuff like that. And then when we got show, I discovered that I my followers increased, so a huge number of people following me, and then I'm like, how can I really do something that can in somebody's life? I started it, and then I was like, I need to do something that I can relate to. I don't know who I'm going to relate to at what point in time, but I just believe that I can something that can really change somebody's life. You know what I mean? And I started that. The first video I made, there was a comment that I made on that was like, I know I'm not really good at this right now, but I believe that someday I'm gonna get better. And since then, I've just been inspired so much to say motivational stuff. And it's not like I don't honestly I don't read. I really I just get up, and sometimes I get up like 4 a.m. in the night, and something just pop in
Wow.
my mind, and I always try to write it down.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I do this tomorrow, because I when I don't
Hello
write
from
them
Arizona.
and
Just
get up in
getting
the
some
morning,
people saying hi. Hello from Arizona.
so I always
And we got some from
try.
Colorado who said hello. Hello.
Sometimes
Go ahead.
like, yeah, sometimes my wife would be like, what are you doing? Like, 4 a.m. and then I'm on my phone, see the light. She's like, you're not sleeping. I'm like, you can't understand. And when I write that down, and then I just keep my phone, and then during the day I go through what I wrote. I'm like, wow, this is really good. You know what I mean? And then just say it like that.
I love it. I appreciate it. Sometimes, I tune into some of the stuff you say and it helps me in my daily life. So guys, go follow Kobe.
Oh,
Kobe, what's your handle?
sorry.
What's your Instagram handle?
Oh. Kobe Blaise. Kobe.
So guys, follow Kobe Blaise. He's very inspiring, does great motivational speaking, and yeah, you won't be disappointed. Once again, we've got Kobe Blaise from 90 Day Fiance, and he's got some very interesting connections to our Dualana Manga Bell. Now, Kobe, do you want to talk about a couple of your connections really quickly?
Sure. I mean, growing up and during secondary school, like, back home we have primary school and secondary school, so we learned a little bit of history. Even though I went through a technical college, where history, geography were just like minor courses, but we learned a little bit of our own history, like the heroes of Cameroon. No, Cameroon, because he was a hero of Cameroon, not Cameroon. That was a gem back then. So one of the things that really inspired me that much to talk about him is the fact that he was all his people's success, his people's happiness, and stuff like that. So, like, let me just give a brief history about Dualana Manga Bell. So, he was born in 18 about in the month, and he studied abroad. His uncle pushed him to study abroad, so he really had the European educational system and Cameroon educational system at that point in time. He was really an high standard educationally. So when he came back after his studies in Germany, he passed away. And as the elder son, he succeeded his father, which is, I mean, he took over his father with all the knowledge he acquired from Germany. And by then, Cameroon was a German colony, So it was very easy for him to communicate with administration, German administrators that were in Cameroon at the point in time. And things were going all smoothly until they decided to push the people around the coastal area to move inward. So this made him so mad because his people, this had to affect almost um, one third of the population around that area.
Wow.
So this is where the borderline was drawn between Rudolf Manga Bell. He tried to. Oh, are you getting me? Yeah. So he tried to file in for petition with some other European countries, like, yo, you guys need to look into this. My people are, going through hell right now. And Germany back in the days, you can't mess around with Germany. That didn't really work. They ignored the petition. So
Mhm.
he talked about, or with other chiefs, rulers in Cameroon at that point in time. Things were
Yeah.
going on. But he was betrayed by one of his own. The king from the Bamun people. That's Ibrahim Joya. Ibrahim Joya betrayed him because him Joya that, okay, we need to resist these people. If not, so our people are going to suffer. So Ibrahim Joya took this information and told the German administration that this is what this guy is about to do. And if you guys don't act fast, it's going to be a big shame in the German face, the entire Germany. So he was arrested, tried, and I mean, he was sentenced to death by hanging. So, and he,
Yes,
he
yes.
didn't even last, his reign didn't even take that long.
No. But he had such an enormous impact in the short
Hello?
years that he was the ruler of Cameroon. And interesting, you said the thing about Sultan and Ibrahim and Joya. That's actually allegedly, he was the one who went to the German authorities. There's more to the story. And actually, we're going to be exploring that should we go to
Yeah.
series. So if you do want to get involved and make this series happen, go to angel.com/German King. And thank you for that, Kobe. I mean, there's some of the things I wasn't really aware of. So thank you for sharing that. But once again, if you want to be a part of
I
German
mean,
King
it's such
and
a
tell this incredible history, angel.com/German King. Go ahead.
beautiful story that,
Go ahead, Kobe.
I mean, it's just that, like, as a Cameroonian, we don't really promote our heroes. This is somebody that should have been talked about, somebody for resisting the Germans at that time of history.
Mhm.
It's somebody that should have been talked, like, everybody should know about him, what he did, his actions. But I mean, I will be so glad that, I can tell my kids about what country at that time. Yeah.
Oh, And Chloe, that's exciting because your children don't know about this guy, right? I mean, it's interesting because tomorrow we have everyone's talking about Black Panther and Wakanda Forever that's coming out. And trust me, I'm going to be the first person in line to get my ticket to watch it. I love the first film. I love the second one. I'm excited to see the second one. But I remember before the first one came out, they kept talking about how it's important to show these, mythical stories and superhero stories like Black Panther because Africa didn't have historical figures like Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell. And I remember reading all these stories and I was like, that's the fallacy. That is not true. We do have these heroes. They've just never been talked about. Or, history's done its best to just, make sure their stories never see the light of day. And I think it's really important for the German King because that's going to talk about real life superheroes. In my book, Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell, superhero, right? I mean, it takes every ounce of one's being to just stand up for what is right, even if it means losing your life. And he paid the ultimate sacrifice for standing up what was right and for also defending his people, which I think is incredible.
Yeah, sometimes it's very sad that somebody writes your history for you. And it's best when you write your own history, like what you guys are doing right now. The German King. I bet you guys are going to leave no stone untouched.
Yes.
So anybody who wants to see the full history, you guys, make sure you grab a copy of the German King because it's going to be real, no, sugarcoat, nothing like that.
Well, Kobe, what I want to do is actually I want to have you. I don't think you've seen this yet, but I want to have you watch the testing waters video we put together and just basically get your reactions from this. And so, could we show the testing the waters video? It's about a 5-minute video, and I would just love to see what you think, and we'll talk about it after we watch it.
Our enemies will try to make you forget who you are.
Die beiden sind beste Freunde. Genauso wie du und Rudolf in diesem Alter waren.
Guten Tag, Kaiserin.
Ein perfekter, schwarzer deutscher Prinz. Würde das dir gefallen?
Yes, sir. I serve at the pleasure of the Kaiser.
Know that everything I did so that our people would be free.
What's the matter, Rudolf?
The Kaiser's like family. But raised as brothers to go against him.
Wilhelm is not your family. Your skin will always be the color of the rich Cameroonian soil. And they will always walk over it as if they own it.
Your family would rule under German protection. So why did you turn against us?
Your father's new ideas of independence are cancer. I fear have infected you too.
Aber mit der Hinrichtung eines Jungen startest du einen Krieg.
Wir sind schon im Krieg.
They're inside the palace.
Feigling! Lass mich sofort frei!
What you've just watched is part of our award-winning short film about Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell, a heroic king, resistance leader, and martyr in the liberation of Cameroon, a German colony in Africa. It's a powerful chapter of lost history that deserves to be reclaimed and turned into a multi-season TV series so we can tell the whole story to a new generation.
The most compelling stories are true ones. You can help us tell this true story of a real-life African hero by expressing your interest at angel.com/GermanKing. The German King is the story about the brave people who stood up against oppression and rebelled against German occupation.
It's very much a Moses story. Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell is an African born in Cameroon, and like Moses, he is raised as a royal in foreign courts, in his case, Germany. When he returns to Cameroon, he sees how his people are being subjugated, oppressed, and enslaved, and he rebels. He sacrifices his kingly comforts and riches for the good of his people. If you believe what Martin Luther King Jr. said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, then understanding this story of injustice and how it was overcome is important. And we see that this issue is still an issue today.
We've seen films of heroic overcoming of injustice before, but the German King offers a previously unseen view of African valor and reclaims a lost history for modern audiences.
By immortalizing these stories in film, we preserve and keep them fresh in the minds of this and future generations. Seeing Africans as royals with their culture and heritage celebrated positively instead of stereotypically, young boys and girls of color will see people who look like they do. They'll see themselves represented in robust, meaningful, dignified ways. You'll also love seeing traditional costumes, language, landscapes, architecture, the majesty and splendor of Africa during that time. And you'll also see, of course, the extravagance of the European royals and their palaces and culture.
In this series, you'll see humanity in its glorious goodness as you see the explorers and missionaries who spread the gospel and seek to end subjugation. But you'll also see those who wanted to do the exact opposite. You'll see what happens when greed and gluttony become a priority, and the horrific consequences when we cease to see each other as human beings. We need your help to teach future generations what heroism looks like. Go to angel.com/GermanKing to show your support for this project now.
There's an old African proverb that says, "The tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter until the lion speaks." This project finally gives a voice to the lion. And many of our cast and crew are native Africans or descendants of Africans.
Adetokunbo McCormick currently voices the role of Isaac in the hit Netflix animated series Castlevania. Other acting credits, which are a ton, include blockbusters such as Oscar-nominated Blood Diamond, Battle Los Angeles, Where We Met, and Captain America Winter Soldier.
The German King series writer, Glenton Richards, is a Writers Guild Award-nominated writer, having written on the hugely successful series The Expanse, as well as having worked on shows like Fargo and American Crime.
And we have some amazing other film professionals like Emmy Award-winning editor Stephanie Filo, multiple Grammy Award winner Mark Batson as a composer.
We are so thrilled to be working with Angel Studios for distribution. Angel Studios series, The Chosen, the world's biggest TV series on the life of Jesus Christ, has generated hundreds of millions of views and over $100 million. I feel like I can identify with Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell. We are both West African. We both grew up under colonial influence. I was born in Sierra Leone and I was raised in Kenya. I attended a prestigious private English school, and everything I learned was about how amazing colonialism was, and learned nothing about the rich history and culture of Africa prior to European arrival. So very much like Rudolf, I was indoctrinated into a foreign culture with very little knowledge of my own.
Think about it. If asked to name a famous African, most Americans would say Black Panther, which is a fictional superhero. Some may say Nelson Mandela, but there are so many more real-life superheroes from Africa, and this series is going to share several other stories with you.
I grew up in Africa, and even I never knew African kings like Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell or Queen Yasintewa even existed. I would watch movies like Braveheart and Saving Private Ryan and Lincoln, and I would think, I wish we had more films that celebrated our great African heroes. So that inspired me to make the short film, The German King, but it really deserves to be turned into a multi-season TV series to tell the whole story.
We want the next generation to get to see these real-life heroes who lived in Africa. This is a series we hope will empower communities around the world to celebrate and honor their African heritage.
You can join us and express your interest in helping us tell this story of courage, sacrifice, faith, empathy, and love by visiting angel.com/GermanKing now.
Cody, what did you think?
Wow, that was a lot, man. A very short video with so much magnitude. I mean, it revives so much, like see what people went through back in the days, Damn, man. That was really touching for real.
Thank you
That was
very
really
much.
touching.
And we're just so honored to have you on board, Kobe, really and truly. And we hope to portray your people's history with just accuracy and dignity.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys for whatever you guys are doing. It's a great job reviving, the African spirit in some of us. I mean, I felt somehow after watching that for real. And I imagine so many other people out there can feel after watching the series, you know what I mean? Shit. I mean, you guys are doing that was amazing, bro, for real.
And there's more to come, and this can only happen if you guys go to, stay with me, angel.com/GermanKing. The link should appear right below any second now. There you go, angel.com/GermanKing, and we can make this series happen. And one of the things that we said in the video is the tale of the hunt. The tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter until the lion speaks. And right now, it's time for lion to speak. It's time for us to tell a different side of history that has never been told before. And that entails just, yes, it's going to be, telling the story of Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell, but also telling the story in a way that's not traditional. We're going to include a lot of our African mythology. We're going to include a lot of our just things like our Jengu water spirits, which in fact I think we have some images like of the Jengu water spirits coming up. But we're also going to be talking about like the Ngondo Festival. The Ngondo Festival, and Kobe, do you know anything about the Ngondo Festival? I'm gonna have you maybe
man.
let me if I don't know much, go ahead, go ahead.
Well, when we talk about the Ngondo Festival, it's a cultural event where the people of Douala display the culture for people to see, and it's often along a river, the river Uri. Like they always display on. I mean, it's so beautiful. I mean, I don't really know how I can start explaining that, but it's just like a cultural event where cultural show. You see what people from this clan can do. It's really beautiful.
Amazing. Amazing. I am so excited. That's what we're going to be portraying in the pilot episode. In fact, we wrote about it, and just the culture and the splendor and the majesty of the festival is absolutely incredible. And one of the things they do in the Gondo Festival is they go into the water and they talk to Mamiwata or Jengu, which is a water spirit. And the water spirit, basically, they pay tribute to the water spirit and ask for the blessings of the water spirit, and the water spirit just tells them what to expect in the year ahead. And it's incredible because I was thinking, because this movie is coming out soon, everyone knows about it, The Little Mermaid. That's an image of a water spirit, a Jengu. And there's another one. And I remember when everyone was losing their minds over this new Little Mermaid movie, and they're like, "How can Ariel be black?" I was like, "Well, we all for the past thousands of years, we've had a lot of." I mean, in my mind, whenever I think of a Mamiwata or Jengu or mermaid, I always think of her as a black mermaid. So it's funny for me when I saw Ariel, I was like, no surprises there because that's how I envisioned an Ariel to be. And but it's interesting how people thought about it. And if you stay tuned, if you actually support this TV series, we will be featuring a Jengu water spirit. So, and there's another image of one right over there. So yeah, it's going to be a celebration of our culture.
It is a big deal.
Go ahead. It is a big deal, right?
I was just saying that it's a big deal. It's massive. When the Ngondo Festival is around the corner, people make programs just to travel to Douala to witness that because it's once in a lifetime event. You know what I mean? It's a big deal for real, man. It's a big deal. I mean, I don't think there's somebody in Cameroon who's never witnessed that. It's so crowded that sometimes there's no space just for people who travel around just to come and witness whatever is happening over there. Yeah.
Yes. And traditionally, so correct me if I'm wrong, but traditionally they used to have the Tangay. The Germans confuse extraordinary. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. So originally they had a Tangay. This story will preserve. Oh, thank you very, very much, everybody. And once again, if you want to support the series, just go to angel.com/German King. But traditionally, they used to have a Tangay, which was basically this ornament, a representation of the king's crown, his throne. They basically attached to the front of the boat, right? And we have that. We have an image of it on the screen right now. And originally, when they would go into battle, they would actually have that in front of the boat, and that would intimidate a lot of other people. But the thing about the Tangay was it also spoke about African history, and it told a story. And that's another image of a Tangay. And I remember thinking when I was doing some research, originally they always said that African history was always oral. I didn't realize that it was not just oral, but we also made artifacts and ornaments, right? Like the Tangay that told a story.
Yeah, we had ads. It's just that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
And so we had most of those things. It's just that nowadays most of those things have been forgotten, and we try to use things from the modern days. We don't use the original things. You know what I mean? Like there's a competition still going on during the Gondo Festival, but you'll never really see those Tangay like what you just display. You see something else.
Yes. They're not. Yeah. And so we'll be featuring a Tangay in the German King series. And in fact, the original Tangay that was taken from Germany, I believe, has not been returned yet. And so that's also going to be something we're going to talk about. But yeah, the Tangay that you saw is actually at a museum called 5 Points Museum in Munich. And it was taken from Cameroon, I think, in the late 1800s and has not been returned as yet. But it's a representation of the ancestors, their culture, their mythology. And that's something we'll be talking about in the German King series. And once again, if you want to support the series and express your interest, please go to angel.com/German German King. And it's right at the bottom of your screen there, angel.com/German King. And so one other thing I was going to ask you, Kobe, because your children don't know about this. How important is it to you as a father to basically have your children know about these stories, know about Rudolf Dualana Manga Bell?
I mean, it's really important for me to tell them about my history, not just Dualana Manga Bell. There's just so much, but I'm just so happy that Dualana Manga Bell is being added on the list right now. Yeah, there's just so much that I need to educate them, not just, about Africa, not just about Cameroon, what we are, what we represent, and I can't wait for me to take them back home in Africa, the motherland, where they will see things and feel things by themselves, not just watching from social media, from the news, because you don't get the real facts from there. But if you're in ground zero, we call that ground zero. If you're in the motherland, you can easily write your own story. You can easily tell from your experience, from what you feel. Yeah.
Amen. That's right. Now, I remember there was on an episode of 90 Day Fiance, and I think it's also in your social media, you're wearing a necklace, and it had these things on it. What does that necklace mean? Right? Yes. What is that?
It's exactly? I remember it's a significant from people, royal family. Those necklaces have. There's the one that female can wear. There's the one that male can wear. It's a specific one reserved for the chief. Like, gone are the days we don't really call them kings anymore. We call them now chiefs. And it's just that nowadays we don't really respect the significance of those necklaces. But I'm from a royal family. But even though I didn't really grow in a royal family, I'm from a royal family. My dad is from a royal family.
That's amazing.
I'm a child out of wedlock, and my dad didn't really grow into that. He was kind of scared of witchcraft and stuff like that. So he ran away from the, royalty and stuff like that. And he didn't really want his kids to have anything to do with that. And he was like, maybe they were gonna eat his kids with witchcraft and stuff like that. But still, but I was named after a chief, after like a king, like a royalty. So I was named after the successor. Yeah.
Wow.
So it means
that's I actually didn't know that.
You're frozen. I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now, Kobe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello? Yeah, I said I can't wait to take my kids back home. The moment we go back home, we are going to the chiefdom, to the palace, to see the chief and get some more blessings, tap some more blessings from the motherland and stuff like that. My kids should know where they come from, the roots.
Food, right?
Man. Yeah. Gosh. I miss Cameroon food so much. And you know what? Cameroon is that one country that no foreigner can find what to eat.
Yeah.
Hello?
Awesome. Well, Kobe, thank you so. Okay, Kobe, thank you so much for joining us. It means so much, and we're excited that you were able to share your story. And I found out that you're royalty as well, which is amazing. So should I be calling you Prince? I don't know what to refer to you right now.
I'm Kobe. I'm Kobe. Yeah. Oh man, thank you so much for having me on your platform. I really do appreciate it, and I feel like the story, the messages you guys are putting out there are going to inspire some people, are going to change so many people's views about Africa. And I feel like your story is going to push so many people to find out more about African heroes that have not been, talked about in history. Yeah, for real.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to continue this conversation on Instagram. So guys, do not go anywhere. And if you have any questions right now before we actually log off, please put them in the comment section below. And do not forget to like, subscribe, share this with your friends, share this with your enemies, and let's just get the show on the road and let's get the German King made. Once again, if you want to express interest in the German King, go to angel.com/German King. It's on your screen below, angel.com/German King. And once again, thank you all so very much. Do not go anywhere. We're going to be continuing this conversation on Instagram with Kobe Blaise. And our guest, Kobe, is incredible. He is incredible, isn't he? He's the best. He's the best. Shout out to Kobe Blaise. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much.
Feel free to keep your questions coming. You can follow us on Instagram at German King. So once again, this is Adetokunbo McCormack and Kobe Blaise, and you can just join us on Instagram. You continue to ask for questions and comments and whatever else you want to talk about. We'll be on Instagram next. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kobe. And guys, join us on Instagram where we're going to continue this conversation.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Take care. Thank you, guys. Once again, go to angel.com/GermanKing to express interest.
Our enemies will try to make you forget who you are.
Die beiden sind beste Freunde. Genauso wie du und Rudolf in diesem Alter waren.
Guten Tag, Kaiserin.
Ein perfekter schwarzer deutscher Prinz. Würde das dir gefallen?
Yes, sir. I serve at the pleasure of the Kaiser.
Know that everything I did so that our people would be free.
What's the matter, Rudolf?
The Kaiser's like family. But raised as brothers to go against him.
Wilhelm is not your family. Your skin will always be the color of the rich Cameroonian soil. And they will always walk over it as if they own it.
Your family would rule under German protection. So why did you turn against us?
Your father's new ideas of independence are cancer. I fear have infected you too.
Aber mit der Hinrichtung eines Jungen startest du einen Krieg.
Wir sind schon im Krieg.
They're inside the palace.
Feigling! Lass mich sofort frei!
Body to go to Balese. Ditele